Red Devils Hockey is brought to you by Reform Radiology, exceptional imaging and treatment services for the community. Local team, expert care. reformradiology.co.nz. Kia ora koutou. Welcome everybody to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name's Matt Chavez, joined today by Dan Nichols again, and we're here to bring you the Canterbury Red Devils and the Sky City Stampede. Game 2 this weekend, the Sunday rematch of what was an entirely entertaining game yesterday. Dan, lots of talking points. There's no question about that. There's everything you want to talk about and more, but what really sticks out as something that becomes a factor in today's game?
Yeah, welcome Matt. Yes, I think it was a very good competitive game yesterday. It was pretty much a one-goal game throughout most of that game, and it was probably very promising for the Red Devils here coming up against the defending champions, Sky City Stampede. The way they approached the game, they brought a bit of physicality to it early on, applied some pressure, and what really stood out to me in this game was they outshot the Sky City Stampede by 40 shots to 31. Now, if you went back into last season, the Red Devils struggled with their shots on goal. They were giving up 53 shots against on average, where the rest of the teams in the league were giving up 33 shots on average. So the Red Devils were struggling last season, but it looks like with a few maybe player changes and changes in their systems, they've turned things around and are competitive in that offensive zone.
Yeah, that's a stat that you didn't share with me earlier. That's a shocker. Yeah. The Red Devils consistently were outshot for the last several years, just every game, maybe bar the Thunder, but even then. And that was their game style. They would give up shots and go on the counteroffensive when they could. Outshooting the Stampede is just, well, that's just a big change. It's hard to get my head around that.
Indeed, and if you looked at it over the aggregate, the Red Devils conceded over 300 more shots than the other teams. So let's see, there's a few little player changes today that we note from the lineups that have been given. Timothy Carey's coming back into the net for the Red Devils. I think he's recovered from a broken fingernail yesterday that kept him out, so Dan Reason's going to move to the backup position, and the Sky City Stampede have Dylan Devlin returning following the suspension at the end of last season, so I think he will slot onto their second line.
Yeah, Devlin being he was a factor in a lot of games last year. I remember him being a factor in the 3-on-3 tournament, of course, but Devlin kind of anchors that second line. Yeah. And that's going to be a pretty big change for the Red Devils today because they can't get caught off guard on their second line changes and making that transition between top lines. They were fairly even yesterday, and it was pretty good to see. And speaking of even, I want to throw the standings up here. This is accurate as of last night. Here's my stat of the day. I don't know if I shared this, but the Dunedin Thunder, the Phoenix Thunder, have more points now this year than all of last year. They had 9 points with 3 wins last night. They had 8 all of last year. So it is definitely something that's turned the league upside down. A Red Devils win would do exactly that, even more today. So yeah, it just doesn't stop. The surprises keep coming.
Indeed, yeah, they're on to a hot start. The Phoenix Thunder taking a 3-1 win last night over the Botany Storm.
Yeah, and that was an empty netter. It was a tight game the whole way. And yeah, lots of changes and things just going on in the league. But I think I took from yesterday, despite the fact that there was some serious talking points, and we can revisit those later. The biggest thing for me is the Red Devils look like they are ready to play and can play at this level. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do that again today.
Indeed, talking to a few of the players after the game as well, and despite the scoreboard not going their way, they were pretty positive and happy with how they approached the game and what they're getting out of it. So, look, they'll be looking to just keep building on that here today.
And here we go, starting with the first period action. Morris with a face-off, and we're underway here at the Alpine Ice in Christchurch. Sean Brown to chase that puck on the fresh ice. And the Red Devils look to move forward with Morris going past center, throwing it in, and gets sent right back out. And that'll be an icing call early. Not that anybody's winded yet, but
No, yeah, hopefully still fresh legs after what's that, 21 seconds off the clock.
yeah, I think the only one to be winded might be Colin McIntosh. He had quite a physical game yesterday in a lot of different ways. Let's see if he can avoid a stick off the face-off in the face here. He does. That's good. And the Stampede with a puck, but they get, it was, who was that? It was
Reese.
plastered. Reese plastered him into that Zamboni door. And it's going to be Haas chasing down the puck on their end behind Carey's net. Doesn't come out. That got caught on the dasher there, or the kick plate, and Brown moving it forward. Morris digging away, turned over. Freer passing it to McIntosh. He's a little bit more open. And Ross right in front can't hold on to the puck for a shot. Best opportunity so far, but just a bounce that went the wrong way. That's onside, so they keep playing. True throwing it around. Devlin, the aforementioned returning player for the Stampede, digging at that puck, and now it's going to be Tappan going back and picking it up in the corner. Sends it back around Chalice. Lowe trying to get it out. Funny bounce, and that is going to get out. He picks up the puck again, 2-on-3, gains the zone, looks to try to get a shot, gets his stick lifted, puck goes behind the net. Is that still Brooks in there? It is, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it is Aston Brooks. No change for the Stampede in net. Goes out to Bull. Bull trying to pass it. He's going to take a shot. Quick wrist there, doesn't get through. Hits traffic. Referee hits the ice. Shot. That's another one from Lowe. He's just trying to get something on, and it gets everything turned around. Devlin's got the puck now. Looking for a high pass. Carey, I think, blockered that out to neutral ice. And the Stampede deciding whether to change lines there. They do make a small change, and that is
Icing.
icing. Okay.
Yes, nice couple of minutes there, free-flowing hockey. Another little wee give and go with Dodwell and Bull down there. Getting the shot didn't get through in the end, but it just gave Bull a wee bit of space for a chance.
And once again, we're kind of seeing an even play here. Now, unlike yesterday, it hasn't become physical yet. They were feeling things out early. Shot from Brown at the point. Deflection. Thomas has it in the corner. He pushes it back. Moncrief's there. Gets around, and it is out to Burns. Sent back. It's at the point. Was that Kaluzny upended there?
It was Kaluzny, yep. Putting his body on the line.
And he's, can tell he's a bit upset about that. I should be able to pick him out. He's got that beautiful white stick out there. It looks so fast. Rusty Jones with it, and Hurley off sides as they came in.
Yeah, he's learning the art of the defenseman there, Kaluzny. Trying to hold the puck in there at the blue line like a good D-man, but sort of paid a price for it.
But the price paid was enough to upset the offense coming in at him, so there was that. But Morris to take this when he wins that face-off. Reese there as well. Morris gets it back to Brown. Brown goes across the ice to Kaluzny. Kaluzny back to Brown, looking to move it forward. He goes forward. Instead of Reese, he goes up to Haas. Long pass, and gets caught up in his skates for a moment. Goes around the boards, behind the net. Morris holds the line there, but it goes to the Stampede. Goes past Sofer there, and it's going to be Brown that has to chase it down. No icing here. He gets there before the goal line. Brown still has it. He gives it to Haas. Haas smashed into the corner there. Sofer still digging away at it. He steps over Haas. Haas still not up yet. And then that's a pull down. That'll be a call. And it's looking like, I think, a trip here.
Yeah, true stick just getting caught on the feet there.
And here's the call. Call was hooking by number 6, Keller. There you go. So hooking it is. 2-minute power play coming up here. McIntosh with the puck. And he's just going to hold on to it. And then he finally sends it down. It's actually 2-on-1 there. Ross in the forecheck. And that's going to get dumped out to neutral, past but turned over. McIntosh once again getting a chance to get in there, but it's Tappan with a good chance and a score. Short-handed opportunity converted for the Stampede. The Red Devils just trying to be a little too offensive and leaving the puck behind.
It's one of the risks that feels like a little bit of New Zealand ice hockey, the power kill. Doesn't quite always play out because your team think you're all in the offensive mindset, but you struggle to get the puck back once you lose control. Again, Stampede, a couple of their top players there, Ross and McIntosh, making some good moves and, yeah, capitalizing shorthanded.
Hey, you know, we were going to let's see if I can get that replay up there on the right goal, because once again, we're waiting. So let's see if we can show Kerry here for just a moment. There it is. So I don't know what that one was exactly, but they're still talking. It was
the penalty clock here in the rink is only showing 36 seconds to go, but
right.
there's a minute 36 seconds to play. So the referee was just informing both benches.
There it is. So still waiting to get that sorted out. Did you notice how quickly Mr. Bull was at the center ice line, waiting for that face-off immediately?
It's like they learned from something that happened yesterday.
So Ross with the, well, he just had to send it home, set up for McIntosh on the shorthander, and defense just a little bit caught off guard there, and now they're still on the power play, but they're going to try to equalize here as they're now down a goal. Bull bringing it through and sent the length of the ice. I have no idea what's going on up there on the clock.
No, neither.
So we think there's about a minute left in the power play. We'll let you know. We'll just watch who's actually doing what. Moncrief with a puck. Holds off the defenders. Skates around, looks for a low pass. Comes back to him. That's sent around. Amston with it. He's going to clear it. No, he's not. He actually got it into the skates of Meisternock. But that does get sent the length of the ice. That is not icing. Is still on the power play. Ruski Jones chasing back on that.
Stampede playing quite an active forecheck here on the penalty kill.
Can't blame him. It worked already. Some unknown amount of time. We think it's 25 seconds to go on the penalty, but we'll see. Turned over.
Great D on the blue line there by the Stampede, just shutting down that zone entry.
Yeah, it just looks like they're standing them up every time they come in, and the Red Devils are obviously a little bit scared to overman that as they come in, and that goes back to 5-on-5 as he's out of the box, but Morris has it, whiffs on it, gets it back to Meisternock, loses it in his skates. 3-on-1 developing for the Stampede. McIntosh with it again, 2 to pass to, and that one worked out nicely as that goes to nobody in particular after it hit his skate. Morris has it to Moncrief. Moncrief can't hold on to it. He skates and takes the body out on the entry. Haast has it in the corner. That's passed out, and the Stampede have it. Amston with the control of the puck. Knocked forward by Hopkins, bouncing puck. Haast with it, loses it back to Tappan. Tappan with a long cross-ice pass up to Morris. Crosses the line, holds on to it, long shot in, bounces around, and the Stampede hold on to that one after one shot from the point. Looking for that long pass again. Lowe's going to get that. No, he's not. Amston had it, and then it gets turned to Tappan. Tappan waiting for Dodwell, puts it off the board. Dodwell skates forward with it, hits a pass on the blue line. Lowe takes the shot high over the crossbar, over the glove as well. And that goes to the blue line. Couple of physically challenging things there, and there is a penalty coming up.
I think it's not the 15, Nicky Dodwell. 14's the call.
There you go.
Yeah, not quite a free flow, it's connected flow in here so far to start the period. It's quite broken with the passes.
The call on the ice. 2 minutes 40, 15 rest.
So Stampede get a go on the power play here. They managed to score 1 power play goal yesterday.
Interesting they're choosing the left side here.
Ross's backhand wins it.
Yep, Amston on the line. Walking it in is Ross. Brown in his way. All 4 are Red Devils on the side of the strong side of the ice. In front, and a chance for Freer, but Kerry in front and in good position. Goes out to Chalice at the point. Holds, Long shot, Amston with a one-timer from the blue line. 2-0 to score as the Stampede get some early offense and take control of the game early.
Yeah, some good puck movement there on the power play, and yeah, lovely one-timer there from Amston. Bodies in the way for Kerry. Sure, he probably had an obstructive view there, but lovely set up there from the Sky City Stampede.
Let's see if we can get that from behind there, and then we can go back to the face-off, which everybody's in position. That's good. Morris out to Haas. Haas with it. Good move there. Sends it through the slot, but that pass comes out a little bit too hot for Tappan to hold at the blue line. They reset. Haas with it. Haas looking for Morris, but holds it. Then flips it in, plays it high, and then that turns around to the Stampede. Goes back to Ruski Jones. He dumps for the chase. Tappan gets it first. Tappan trying to pass it out, and that gets to Meisternock. Morris flips it forward. Devils go for one change here, low back out, and that puck out, in, and out, and passed forward. That's tipped by Low. I don't think there's an ice here. And that goes off the half board, up in the air, and the Red Devils hold on to it. Tappan. Tried to get it to Reese, but it goes past, and Burns collects it in the corner in the back. And a stop in play.
Too many men's to call.
Yep. And is that on the Stampede?
Correct. On the Stampede there as the puck came in front of their bench.
On the ice.
Caught with an extra man on, so Red Devils going back on the power play here. The first one wasn't too organised and didn't really get any chances set up there, so they'll be looking again. I think, again, looking at the scoreboard now, there's something funny going on because only 1 minute's going up on the on the penalty timer.
So 11:53, the clock officially on there, and they're going to fix it again.
Luckily for you,
No,
at
they're
home,
not.
you at home, the score box says 2 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's good. No, we're the only ones keeping the time correctly. That's a first.
Penalty against Stampede for 6 on the ice.
Red Devils with the puck. It's Reese that has it. He's trying to get it to Tappan as he's annoyed on the board. Then it gets to Morris. He passes it across the slot, goes to the half board. Haas holds it, sends it to the corner, gets it back. Looking around at the diamond, trying to break it. Goes to Tappan high. Back to Haas. Morris. Haas. Across the way. Good shot there. That's held in just barely. Low deflection. A couple of chances. In front. Oh, that's a close one there by Morris as he almost dug that one out. Missed slap shot there, and that's going to go to the distance as the Stampede go off.
Much better start there on the power play.
And
the
that's
Red Devils.
1 minute, and they give it up to McIntosh here. That's not a good turnover shot, and Carey stops it.
That's,
And
yeah.
54 seconds to go on this one.
Not a great break out the pass there by Tappan, but that was much better puck movement from the Red Devils there to get a pretty good shot opportunity there for Moncrief, but Aston Brooks was up for the challenge.
Red Devils win this one, and it's Bull taking it blue line to blue line as he gives it to Moncrief. Takes the shot, 5-hole, gets knocked away. Kick save into the corner. Goes around to the corner with Dodwell. Dodwell looking heads up for a pass to Brown. Brown slides it across. Moncrief. Moncrief looking to get it low. He gets it taken off of him. And Brown's got to chase this one down. He does. Burns on him. Brown deciding which way to turn around. He finally turns around and gets it out to neutral. Then he gives it up to Burns again. Burns and McIntosh, and a goal.
Great pressure by Callum Burns there on Sean Brown, just really sticking to it. Brown couldn't find a teammate for an opening there, and yeah, Red Devils not back supporting Brown. He was sort of the last man back with a hard forechecker on him, but teammates weren't sort of coming back to give him that outlet or support.
Well, McIntosh took a chance again, and he did because it paid off earlier. That's the second shorthanded goal, and it's because he was willing to jump the line and get up there. They, once again, give up a shorthanded, which 11 seconds to go on this power play. They are still officially on it, but 3-0 the score. Quite a different first period than yesterday. And Morris with it.
Callum Bird.
digging that out, and the Stampede have it. Hurley gets it taken off his stick. Morris up to Haas. Haas sending it. Reese with a shot that hits low and looks like the outside of the net. And that's turned back around. Red Devils with it, looking to get that out. Hopkins surveying his options. Long pass intercepted. The Stampede doing a really good job of getting the lanes, the passing lanes for the Red Devils in the middle third. Shot and knocked away. Morris with the low runner, and it's kicked to the side. Hopkins lets that one go, goes to True. True's giving it up to Amston, back to True. Sends it across to Ruski Jones. He's going to try to get to through the line. He passes by Gallagher, misses the body. Salfer has it to Ruski Jones. Ruski Jones sending it behind the net. Kaluzny gets there first, gets in front of Sofer, and then Lowe lets it go at the half boards. Ross has it. Ross trying to dig it out. He does. Moves into the corner, skates backwards, and he's plastered. And that puck just sits on the blue line, never clears. Now it does. Dodwell taking it at center, gets it into the corner. Brooks plays it. Dodwell taking a headlong dive into that one. Lots of effort, but didn't quite get any of the puck there. Tappan and McIntosh in the corner. McIntosh wins that battle. He gets in front. And there's some physicality. Meisternock knocking Freer over. And there may be 2 penalties here, if I saw that right.
Both refs have their arm up, but they might be on the same infringement.
So we'll see what the call is here. Is
Luckily, Freer was in front of the net.
Penalty on the play. 75 red. And penalty.
So just the one call on the Red Devils there. Lucky Freer causing some trouble in front of the net. Did take a wee knock at Tappan, and then Maestronok responded, and unfortunately he gets the one that's penalised.
it's always the second one, isn't it?
Yeah, but the first one never gets called.
Amsted going across to Chalice. Chalice holds as the box contracts, trying to get in front. A shot in the goal. Ross just picks up the garbage, hits it high and right, buries it, and that ends that penalty as quick as it started. And the Red Devils looking around, wondering what happened to yesterday.
Indeed, yeah. 12 minutes into the game here and a 4-0 hole. That's really hard here. So refs has his arm up for the no player change for the away team. So they've just celebrated, and let's see if they change players. Yep, now they're trying to change players, and the referee's letting it happen.
Oh, well, there you go. Here comes the face-off. Puck drops when nobody's ready again. They did have players in position this time, but they are enforcing these new rules to the letter of the law. Keokuk with a shot over the crossbar, came in a little bit high, hits the glass, he gets it back, and that comes back out to the Stampede. Morris with it, passes it back. Brown's got it now. Tarangi Hinari with it for a moment, goes back to Devlin. Brown pushing aside. Keokuk trying to get in there, he backs off. Chalice sending it around. That puck goes to the near side. True taking a shot. True's got it in front again, takes a shot, and Tim Carey up to that one. As they send that in, he gloves it and gets the stop.
Stampede getting a bit more time in position again, managing to move the puck around the offensive zone here. Red Devils struggling to get the turnover, get it on their sticks, and make some clean passes to get it down the other end.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little bit more about this in a minute, but the face-off starts. Tappan's got it. Turned over, Sofer with it in the corner. Meisterdock out of the box, of course. Moncrief gets it, turns it to Ruski Jones. Tappan pushes him off the puck. Sofer picks it up. As they look in front, that's center out, and will probably go for an icing here as Burns goes back. So what I was going to say earlier was that this is the old Stampede in the sense that they take a very smart chance or two, burn you on it, and then they sit back and they let you struggle, wait, and then jump on it every chance they get. Just a championship caliber team. And with 4 goals, they're just going to sit here and enjoy themselves.
Pretty much.
And wait for the Red Devils to prove that they have some sort of offense today.
that experience with skills underlying that experience. Just their style of hockey now, they're in the driver's seat here.
And that's a pretty big hit on Thomas. That was Josh Hurley getting that. Ruski Jones taking a shot. It's off target, up and left. Hits the glass, goes out to center. Anston gets it first. Thomas gets there. Moncrief. They leave that one alone. That goes back to, I think it's Blake Campbell that was playing that out. McIntosh goes to Haas. Haas sends it forward to Reese. Reese coming in 1-on-2, takes the shot, knocks the stick out of the defender. And Brown's got to chase that one back. It's 1-on-2, but Ross has it, the MVP of the league. McIntosh left alone, off the post, missed it, but not by much. That one rang out and bounced to the side. Fortunately for the Red Devils, they have a 2-on-1. Takes a shot and a goal. Morris finally gets one back and reminds the Stampede that this game's not over.
Yeah, McIntosh rings one off the post down one end, and no less than 10 seconds later, Morris gets a chance. And again, he's got a lovely quick release there. Catches Brooks up, I believe, top glove.
There it is. You know, the interesting thing about that for me is, if for nothing else, watching Brooks did you see his left arm just hanging out on the crossbar like nothing's happening? Then he gets set. And that was a very interesting, oh yeah, I got to play this. And then sure enough, it goes right by him. 4-1 the score.
Yeah, there we go. So that's just a little bit more confidence boosting back for the Devils here. Let's see if they can get back or keep momentum now with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, they just need to keep chopping away at it now because they gave up the early goals. It happened. They have no choice but to just claw their way back.
2 shorthanded goals against there.
And that's Chalice looking for an outlet. McCarg with it. Burns flipping it in. Now Bulls got it. 3-on-3 here as they move out. He passes it forward to Dodwell. And this is kind of what I was talking about, getting that second line. The second line's got to really up their game with Devlin out there as well. It's necessary that these guys generate offense if they're going to get back in this. They can't always be the top line. That puck goes across the goal line there. Meisternock with a shot. Hard angle, didn't get through. Goes out to the half boards. Devlin with it. Devlin looking up. Devlin just shoves it in to Carey. He holds on to it but doesn't close on it. Don't need to delay a game there. And all 5 jump the boards for the Stampede. That puck goes in for just a moment. Pake's out there now. Trying to get a bit of a breather here for the team that just came out. That hit the blocker, stopped right in front in the crease, and that puck goes, fortunately, to the right side. Past, looking for somebody. I think they were looking for Ruski Jones in the slot there, and that doesn't happen. Bulls got it now. He tips it. Goes out of the zone. Anston collects it at center ice. A couple of changes for the Red Devils. And they move that forward. Moncrief takes the line. He skates around, gets that in front. The other Moncrief there trying to kick that forward. It almost gets through Brooks as he didn't see it and almost 5-holed him on a deflection there.
Yeah, that first shot there by, I think it was Noah Moncrief, got blocked by Stampede in front. So again, there's been a few shots tonight with Stampede bodies are getting in front of it before it manages to get through to Brooks.
All right, so it's going to be Morris back out there now that he's had a quick break. Second attempt to face off. And it's McIntosh that wins it, but the Red Devils have it. Passed around by Haas. McIntosh gets that stolen by Haas. He skates around, goes out to the point. That's deflected as it came in. Brown's got to recollect that in neutral. And he gives it up to Freer while he keeps his body there. That's good. And that's turned over. McIntosh with it in front. Again, another very close shot. It was Devlin that couldn't do anything with it. And that beautiful stick we were just talking about with Kaluzny is now Twiggs. It is in 2. And he's going to have to go to the bench to take care of that. Red Devils come into the offensive zone. Brown tries to chop at it. Then it comes back out to neutral. Meisternock holds on to it. Now he's got to skate around because they were offsides. The puck goes behind. collected by Ross, and he's pilfered by Haast. Haast with it at the red line, looking for a longer pass, holds onto it instead, tries to drag 2 players with him, leaves it behind for Reese. Reese passes it across the ice, and changes for both teams here. Pass forward to Morris. Morris trying to chop it in as it bounced off the boards in an awkward position for a right-hander. And that puck goes back to Morris. He dumps and chase, Lowe, excuse me, in this case. Dump and chase. He puts McCarg into the Zamboni door, but that puck comes out just as quickly, tapping with it. He's going to throw it in. Another dump and chase, looking for a couple of changes. The Red Devils not holding on to it this time, trying to keep the Stampede at bay for a moment as they get set up for the defense. Lowe has it. He holds on to it. Now he sends it forward. Again, dump and chase. And that's turned over to Dodwell for a moment. Held in the zone. Tappan doing a good job there. Stampede with it. They send it across the ice with McCarg with it now as he skates off to the side. I have a feeling I missed something on that left side there, Dan.
Tom Moncrief with a massive hit there on Campbell or Clark, I believe.
And it's True throwing it to the far point. That was a dangerous pass, as True was just chugging back in for a give and go. Moncrief trying to get this, and Amston falls over as he's trying to hold the puck, but nonetheless, Stampede still have it. Pass forward, and Kaluzny, new stick, back out there, and chops up the attempt at the blue line. It's kicked back out. They have to reset. And Moncrief with it, takes a shot right on the logo. And Brooks with a stop. That, of course, just to be clear about that, Thomas and Noah, brothers, are on the same line right now. So I'm saying Moncrief and Moncrief, which 18 is Thomas, 19 is Noah. And we just need to make sure that that's clarified there. That was Noah taking that shot. Amston with it. Sends it out of the zone. Turn around by Haast. Haast gains the zone, holds up at the point, gives it to Brown. Brown can't hold on to that as it bounced over his blade. It's funny, it was colder today, but the puck's still bouncing quite a bit.
The boards here aren't kind to a puck, though.
Not at all. And as that puck goes behind, I think that's going to end the first period. Indeed it is. And we've got ourselves an interesting start. 4-1 the score. And things are a little different, Dan.
They are. They were pretty much Sky City Stampede for the first 15 minutes of that period. Again, they took 2 chances on the penalty kill, which gave them 2 shorthanded goals. That's going to deflate any team that's on a power play there. So Stampede getting that. Then they have a power play goal as well to add on to that. So look, they took some smart chances. They capitalized on them. Definitely put the Red Devils on the back foot. They have come back and scored 1 goal since to at least get the scoreboard moving. So it's a 3-goal deficit now, but yeah, a lot different to what we saw yesterday, where it's a bit more one-sided towards the Sky City Stampede today.
Yeah, more penalties in that first period than I think the entire game yesterday, if not close to it. And that special teams, for both teams, of course, but the special teams being the change today. There's just a lot more of it. But really seeing McIntosh just take those chances when he can, that's, to me, that's really been the difference in the game so far, because he's comfortable leaving that defense 3-on-2. Whereas another team might not be comfortable leaving it 3-on-1, 3-on-2 in a power play opportunity for them coming across. They didn't have a problem with it. So he jumps the line and gets 2 shorties. And that's really your difference. I mean, obviously it's 4 goals, but the momentum and the way things are just feels like that's where it's changed.
Yeah, and well, McIntosh has a wealth of experience. This is his 9th year in this league, but prior to that, back in North America, he's had wealth of experience. I believe NCAA Division 2 or 3 hockey there. So he knows hockey. He has that IQ smarts. He's now up to the 5th on the all-time points leaderboard for the league. So, yeah, he's a threat.
He's always a threat. And he's got the beard, the playoff beard, the whole year. So what's that tell you about his mentality, right?
Exactly.
So,
he's here to win.
He is indeed. So with a 3-goal deficit, the Red Devils go into the first intermission looking for some answers here. Nobody's been caught by surprise by the referees dropping the puck today, so that's good. However, that's not the most important thing at the moment. So we'll rejoin you here in about 10 minutes and show you the under 12s and then get into the second period. An interesting one to see if the Red Devils can climb out of this one, Dan. All right, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Thanks, everybody.
Red Devils Hockey is brought to you by the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. Fun, physical entertainment for the whole family. alpineice.co.nz.
Welcome back, everybody. Red Devils' first intermission here. And I think the Hulks got to, well, their goalie needs to see what's going on. I think he just saw the blue puck. There are lots of blue pucks out there at the moment, to be fair. Today we have players from the Canterbury Ice Hockey Association's Under-12 Super League competing during the intermission, with the Flash in the red jerseys taking on the Hulks in the green jerseys. If you have a child that might be interested in giving hockey a try, Canterbury Ice Hockey Association has a learn-to-play program that offers a free trial session, gear included, for children interested in giving it a go. To learn more, just Google Canterbury Ice Hockey Association and visit the website, which is at ciha.org.nz, to arrange a free session, equipment included. And in the meantime, enjoy the Hulks and the Flash going at it with the blue puck. Let's see what he's got here. Oh, trying to get the one-timer at the doorstep. Not a bad choice. Hulk's still working on it. Well, I think 23 and 19 have this one. I think we've got a little bit of an age disparity here, if I had to guess. Mostly based on number 13 out there. Or is it 12? No, 13. Mini Might, as they say. Oh, 12 with a good move. Anyway, we will be back with you in just a few minutes to start second period hockey action here at the Alpine Ice here in Canterbury. Christchurch, New Zealand, 4-1 the score. Oh, that's a good long shot and a good block. We'll see you soon.
Red Devils Hockey is brought to you by the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. Fun, physical entertainment for the whole family. alpineice.co.nz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Second period action about to start with the Red Devils in a 3-goal hole in after one period. What was the interesting thing, Dan?
Yeah, Stampede's 4 goals in the first period were all scored in the special teams. 2 on the power play and 2 short-handed goals. So,
well, that's a very interesting stat. They have not scored with 10 players and 2 goalies on the ice. That's interesting. So, McIntosh and Morris to take this face-off as we start second period action. Morris wins that and takes it deep into the zone. Hopkins sends it back forward. In front of Morris, shot, and that's knocked away by Brooks. good chance, just not quite sniped in the right spot. And Ross coming right down the left side of the ice. 3 guys on the other side there. Clark with a low runner shot pass as that goes by the post on the right side, bounces to the half boards, then comes into the corner. Sean Brown flipping it back out, goes to neutral and goes to the other side. Red Devils on the long change here, and the Stampede trying to get a hold of the puck quickly to take advantage, but it turns around, and another shot, a low one by Brown. The pipes move just a little bit as Brooks dug in on that. Puck comes back out, 4-on-2 developing here. As they walk it in, Burns takes a shot, glove down by Carey, and stopped in play.
Yeah, great opening chance there in the first 10 or so seconds there for Morris, with Dodwell popping it out from below the goal line to Morris. But Brooks, as he's been there quite often, was right there to shut it down.
And McCarg to jump in against Bull here. And it looks like it's Lowe trying to, I guess it's his net guard.
Net guard check, yeah.
Yep. Won by the Stampede out to Amston. That's deflected. Didn't know where that was for a moment. Now another shot. It goes into the corner as it's deflected away. McCarg sending it behind. And who was there? That was Meisternock. Dima running behind the goal here as he collects it, looking for the wraparound, but he can't get it around quickly enough. Goes to tap in. He pinches it in the board, but it does go out to neutral, and Bull resets.
That's the right play on most ice rinks in the world, passing it up to D-man off the boards here. But as you just saw there, that takes the bounce and flies up and makes it a handful for Luke Tappan to even try and keep it in, and just kills all momentum.
Yeah, he's just juggling once he has to throw his body against there and try to get control of it. But it is the right play. It doesn't work all the time here. That is one of the features or quirks or home ice advantage, however you want to call it. I'm not sure I'd call it that, but it is the Alpine ice, and you got to know the boards here.
I think you can play here for 10 years and put the puck into the same spot many times, and it will do something different every time.
It will surprise you. There's no doubt about that. Moncrief getting behind there. Noah trying to get it in front to Gallagher. Gallagher trying to shove it behind Brooks, but Brooks had a glove on it, and that stops play 2 minutes in with a couple of changes. Kaluzny and Brown going out with Tappan and Dima coming off.
Great hustle there by Noah to get a wee turnover there, and again throwing it out in front, get his teammates to throw it on.
Now, what was the whistle here? That is, was he standing in the wrong spot?
He wasn't quite at the face-off dot, the defending centerman, so the referee stepped in and stopped it, so potentially a face-off violation warning.
And that's sent around to Hurley's going to get there. Sent backwards, Clark, then around and forward. Oh, it's going to go all the way to Kaluzny here. I think that was Burns with it for a moment. Did I get that right? Yeah, Callum Burns on 14. Puck goes out to neutral. Long pass ahead to Moncrief, but hit him in the skates. Couldn't control it. Thomas Moncrief not able to do anything with it. Stampede turn around, but it's picked away from them. Moncrief ends up with it. Looking for the pass, goes across. High shot and a good one there. Goes over the crossbar and then hits the netting. And I think it was Gallagher that actually kind of whiffed on it. It looked like almost like he was just leaving it there. I think he was unaware of the pass coming that quickly. And you could see the Stampede take a look at him like, is he going to shoot this? It goes by him, and then you get that other shot. And it was a dangerous one. Morris to take this one. He wins it to Haast. Amston steals it from him. Then it goes to Reese. Reese is going to chase it down in the corner, trying to pull it off the kick plate. Leaves it for Tappan instead. Tappan's got a chop at it. Meisternock holds his spot there, which is the right play as Morris gets that puck. And Haast trying to dig away at it. And 4 Stampede get in his way, and Brooks just gloves it.
Yeah, Haas, one of the import players here for the Red Devils. His name's probably only been mentioned in your play-by-play. We haven't had a lot to talk about him here, but he is looking good. He just needs to start threatening that scoreboard.
Yeah, he's been relying on Morris to start with, and then that's a stop, another face-off problem apparently.
Face-off violation. I think they're giving it to the Red Devils warning on that one.
So I'm not sure what Morris was doing in that case. Could you see anything there?
I think one of the other players encroached on the circle, not necessarily the centerman. And that one now, referee's just getting a couple seconds added back to the clock.
Yeah, the 2 referee system, one of them you probably didn't see on camera, was over at the scorer bench there. Now that's sorted out. Second added. Who knows? Could be important. Hopefully I'm foreshadowing. That goes back to the backboards. Morris has it. He's knocked in by Amston, but he holds on to. He's tripped up there. That's incidental, and Morris gets it back. Morris, the one-man show at the moment. High shot. Brooks had to look at it. It was a little bit of a floating Twinkie up there, and he just snags it out of the air and stops play.
Got top line on top line here, and yeah, bit of physicality battling along the boards there. Both referees are keeping their arms down there.
And Morris once again digs that out. Morris had a hat trick yesterday, yes?
Correct.
Yeah, he can't be the one-man show. McIntosh throwing that behind the net. He had his stick lifted and then has to skate back. There comes Haast up the right side. We'll see what he can do here. 1-on-2. He holds on to it, gets the pass across to Morris. He goes between his legs. A great shot there by Reese. And it looked like a little bit of an early whistle. Hopefully we can get a replay on that one, because that was, well, it was dancing there. So
yeah, just creating some chances here, and it, got through to Brooks, and I think he dropped down on it, and maybe came loose there. A second chance there for Reese trying to shove it home.
Yeah, I think so. Got away with it, and that's another one. Another stop in the face-offs.
Face-off violation to the Stampede, so that's their warning for this one.
I don't know what's changed, but something significant has changed.
And if people last night, I think the most read section of the rule book would have been Rule 76 for the face-off procedure.
I think everybody was reviewing that last night. You're right. That shot from Brown rolled in on Brooks and went straight up his stick and out of play.
And if,
So
and if you're going to apply the letter of the law to the rule book as it's written, then there should be no contact between any players before a face-off. Otherwise, that is deemed to be a penalty, sticks or bodies. So.
and they're chopping away at each other there. So, yep, it's all interpretation to a degree. Dodwell throwing it behind. Low shot against the goal line. That one goes off Brooks' stick. And the Stampede come out. Chalice with it. He sends it deep. Devlin chasing it down. Gets there first. Brown challenging. Now Lowe's got to go behind the goal line. That kicks out. Harry Lowe's got to chase this one down, but it's going to be Clark that gets to it. And it goes to Chalice. In the middle, good pass. They gain the zone 2-on-3, and that shot is knocked away. The Red Devils doing a very good job lately of preventing the shots getting to Carey, which has been important thus far.
A great back check there that time by Dinky Dodwell.
And that's given up by Brown. Hopkins in the right place there and holds up the angle. And Dodwell loses a stick. Brown takes it anyways, 2-on-3. That's going to get turned around. Hurley is ahead of it, and that's a long pass. Sofer, no icing here as it was Sofer in first. He couldn't get the breakaway opportunity, but he did get the puck behind the net. And that's going to go out to neutral. And icing the call.
Yeah, puck can go through the goal crease for an icing, and Aston Brooks trusting he knew where his post was there, because that puck went by very closely.
Yeah, it did look like it was in the crease. That was close.
Of course, if it goes through the goal crease and into the goal, it's a goal.
That usually, yes it is. Dan Nichols pointing out the obvious here. All right, Red Devils with the puck again. Dodwell knocking it out. True with it. I'm giving you a hard time, Dan. You've known,
Hey,
you
I was
brought
just
more
making sure
information.
people didn't think it would be ruled icing.
Bull with it. Looking for the pass. Instead shoots it. Goes low. He's going to get off the ice. Gallagher chasing down Sofer to Amston. Moncrief with the deflection, and that puck goes out into the, well, that puck actually ended up under us. Whether they're going to bother with that one or not.
Another quirk of the Alpine Ice Rink, doesn't have much glass along that defensive end zone corner, so puck can come out quite a lot there, but not a delay game penalty. It has to be up above a theoretical glass height.
Shot in from Tappan. That was deflected, but didn't get to Brooks.
Tappan had 2 posts last night. I believe he's now looking for the crossbar, then the back of the net.
Well, is that it? That's not the hat trick you want. 3 off the post. Moncrief with it. They got a bit of a man advantage here. Moncrief going into the corner to Gallagher. Gallagher digging away at it. Yeoman's effort tonight. He hasn't been much of a threat necessarily, but he's been in the right places at the right times, which is always the important part. Gallagher has it again. He's going to flip it in. Amston arm barred it away. It was weird looking. He was just swatting at it. And then it's going to be Ruski Jones gaining the line. 2-on-4 as the Stampede get a line change. Ross coming in dangerously unopposed up that left side. And there's Burns walking it in. He whiffs, and that goes to the side. Freer with it. Freer in the corner, Tappan knocking it behind. And that's Colin McIntosh putting it out to the point. Walked in, shot, and that goes behind as that was deflected. That was a Clark shot from the point. He's got it again. Clark making himself known here in the second period. And Tappan breaking out. Haas with a pass back to Tappan. Haas looking again to give it up. And now it's McIntosh 1-on-2. Defense falls over. Carey's knocked the post off. The continues here, even though it looks like it's off, maybe not. Maybe it resettled on there. Amston with it. Goes to McIntosh low, cycling. Passes in front. Carey with the leather, stopping it in the glove. And the referee going to look. And I think it's just a good old stop and play, but the linesmen are checking it. Yeah, it was off just a touch.
McIntosh there again, looking threatening, outweighting the defenseman. Kaluzny goes down to the knees, but McIntosh with the patience to then go around him, and yeah,
Patience.
again, he can create those scoring chances.
Yeah, high IQ, high hockey IQ, that's for sure. Campbell keeping it in the zone for the Stampede. Devlin chasing it down. Brown there. He's going to get the puck. Passes it around to Kaluzny. Kaluzny heads up looking for an outlet, but turns it over. Shot. And McCarr denied. A little extras right in front of the net, but
McCarr, good read on the play there to step in front, and quite a risky breakout pass there, going diagonally across diagonally across your zone there. You need to be seeing all the ice and know exactly where the offending players are before you make that pass.
Yeah, I think the Red Devils got away with one there. Nobody scored yet in the second period, which, given some of the situations, is actually a bit of a surprise given the first period. They managed to hit the back of the net 5 times. But then again, there hasn't been a penalty yet, so there you go. The referee in the way there, getting out of the way of Harry Lowe. Amston clearing it. That goes up to McCart. Devlin. Devlin walking in. That's blocked. Hits his shin pad coming in. Does that stay in? It does. Burns saves it. McCart. And the Devils look like they're going to clear it here. Harry Lowe putting it out and giving up the body. That goes halfway. Clark sends it back in. And a couple of changes here. Kaluzny holding on to it, getting another dangerous pass there. But Brown holding on to it, looking to break out. This is where a couple of years ago, the last couple of years, breaking out of the last third, always an adventure for the Red Devils. They need to not go back to having that be a problem.
Indeed.
Early giving that up, an easy one to Ruski Jones, but he can't pull the trigger as that pass was behind him. And once again, the Red Devils getting away with it. This could easily be 6-1 right now, and instead, the damage is no worse, and Moncrief's going to take it in the blue line, gets it himself. Good move. Tries to dipsy-do through the entire Stampede organization there, and Tappan ends up with it on the other side. He never really quite got a shot off, but boy, he just went right between everybody.
I think he was asking a few questions to the referee after that one.
Yeah, and he's not been short of those questions all weekend, has he?
No.
Ross with it now as he comes up the left side. Meisternock facing him off. Tappan is going to go into the corner, hold on to it. Forechecking by 2 players for the Stampede, and that goes out to Amston, and they reload. Ross coming in on the right side. Mason Reese coming back out. He's going to chase down Amston. No icing here, and makes Amston pay the price. That puck goes halfway out, and that hits the roof as Moncrief Well, what was that? Looked like a 9-iron to me.
Yeah, just went straight up to the sky. But we saw it a bit in the first period, Matt, about the Red Devils with their puck position and regrouping. And I think in the neutral zone, when they did have control with it, the passes weren't hard, they weren't quick moves. So the Stampede just had all the time in the world to react to this sort of regrouping, and just nothing threatening came about.
And the same thing with the Red Devils. If it's a little bit soft, it'll give the Stampede enough time to get in the lanes, and those lanes get clogged up by a championship team. So that's where the experience is paying off for them at the moment. We'll see if the Red Devils can get some just strict offense and just get some shots on Brooks here, because thus far he hasn't been challenged too much. Been some chances, but nothing dangerous. That one goes by Carey in through the crease. Morris taking it.
Picked by Ross.
And Carey didn't play that. McIntosh with it. Holds on to it, one-handed, skating, holding the puck, showing some strength. Hopkins digging it away. That goes to Devlin. Devlin couldn't pull the trigger on it, at least not where he wanted to. And that puck goes out high and up to Haast. He holds on to it, skates into the zone, waits, 1-on-2 with him, turns around, passes it to where he expected somebody to be. Dodwell was there, but he was turned around. Stampede with it, turn around and take a shot. It was Devlin getting the blocker save, and I think that went and hit the netting, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm seeing Haas play a bit more here. I'm thinking he's probably been a bit more used in his previous teams as a playmaker. He's got very good movements. He keeps his head up, and he is trying to make passes here. But I think the Red Devils teammates just not been in the right spots for him.
Yeah, and you can see he's used to drawing two players to him. Clark with the puck. That bounces twice. Tappan's got it now in the corner, but that was a dangerous one as it headed towards the crease. That's going to go up to Lowe, then to Clark. Turned around, Devlin with it. Puck goes out of play here. Meisternock knocking Devlin around, and it's good to see Meisternock kind of growing into his body. He is starting to play physically.
He is. For just 18 years old, he's definitely bringing a bit more physicality. Been in the league last year and playing Marco as well in the youth, but yeah, he's definitely taken another step up this season.
Yeah, you can see that development happening. It's a good thing to see. And they found a puck, always necessary. They drop it, and that goes into the zone. Gallagher's going to chase it, but it comes back out. Meisternock with it. He skates it back to Tappen. Tappen looking for the outlet to Gallagher. Gallagher is going to get double teamed, and they turn it back in. Kind of get away with that one as Tappen looks for an outlet. That's going to go out to Moncrief. He tips it forward to himself. That's a good play. Gets it into the corner. Looking for somebody here. He drags it back, but it's turned over. Amston with it. Now he gets it back again. Moncrief, but again, putting it high slot with nobody home. And Meisternock grabs that and hoovers up the loose puck. That's sent into the corner high and looking for a slapper. That one comes back out, and no, it stays in the zone. Moncrief's got it. Meisternock, Moncrief in front, and turned over 2-on-3 to the Stampede. Thomas Moncrief getting that one. Now again, 2-on-3, and the Red Devils doing a good job of holding that one off. No shot in on Carey, but the offense set up. Burns with it across the blue line. Heavy shot by Amston. Garbage collected by the Red Devils, sent for the length of the ice for icing.
Yeah, just relieving a bit of pressure there. They'll suck it in for the probably 13 seconds we get for the player change procedure to take place.
Yeah, there's this one's going to sting for a while. So if we have some catty comments about that one, I think, as I was told in the Auckland game as well, it's the entire league is getting taken by surprise on this. It doesn't take long to adjust, but now this one,
yeah, smart play there, Beach. Forcing a face-off violation to buy his team another 5-6 seconds, and then he gets the face-off.
And that's going to be a penalty. He's that's
the second time.
That is the second time, and
Delivery, delay of game, illegal face-off.
He's complaining that the linesman was waving his hand there, though, and baited him into that one. So probably a little bit frustrating there, but they're onto the penalty kill for the Red Devils.
Yeah, so they're going to make a change here. And that's Morris taking the face-off, winning it. That's good because they are down a man.
Yeah, the winner that goes into the boards there and just pops up. So Reese first there just couldn't get hold of it.
Big slapper by Amston, but that heads right for the logo, and Tim Carey holding on to that one. Let's see, do we have that one here? Nope, not that one. All right, so back at it. The clock seems to be correct now. I hear the scoreboard's up for a potential upgrade here, so I'd say that's timed well, pardon the pun. The Stampede holding on to that. That's going across the ice, low shot in. Ross just operating on his own on that left side, which is a dangerous choice, but that's Meisternock knocking him into the glass there. That's a good choice to cover up the MVP one-on-one, even in a 5-on-4 situation. That shot goes off Carey's skate, it looked like, and it's going to come all the way out. Morris has got a 2-on-1 here. He's going to hold on to it, takes the shot, and that is held by Brooks.
Looking top glove there again. I think from our angle, maybe blocker side was looking a bit more juicy, but Amston held the lane there and negated the pass across to Mason Reese. So,
yeah, you can see Amston's in a little bit of pain there, and has how he kind of just laid out for that one, or at least out of breath. We'll say that. And that's a big change for the Red Devils. Maybe they can get a shorthanded here. Shot goes behind, but it kind of hits the board, but almost comes out in front of the net again. Look at Bull holding on to it, but he gets double teamed.
Behind him. Right.
Yep, and the McIntosh with it. He holds it, takes the zone himself, takes the snipe, goes right and high, hits the glass, bounces around, and that puck is lost. Still on the power play, 44 seconds to go.
Ross was just cruising along the far blue line there behind the 3 Red Devils players, unmarked.
That's the real problem, isn't it? It feels like even in a zone situation, you can't leave the MVP alone like that. And that puck's dumped into the corner. A bit of a miss on that clearance. Bull's pinching in against McCark there. Bull, and it's gonna be Brown against McIntosh. Or, yeah, it was McIntosh there, and Devlin's gonna have to chase this down. 10 seconds to go on this power play for the Stampede. They give that one up, and Morris out there on the forecheck with Lowe, but Devlin skating all the way in, and boy, he took a lot of speed and a late hit there against Brown. Yeah. The net came off as Devlin just skated like crazy into Carey. And luckily for Tim Carey, he moved out of the way just in the nick of time. He doesn't have to guard the other players from going in the net. So
indeed, you'd expect the face-off to be coming outside the zone here with the Stampede player taking the net off.
Yeah, there it is.
But we can safely say no goals were scored on that power play or penalty kill opportunity, whichever way you want to look at it.
And that is a change. So another quick drop there as players were still skating around. Hopkins. Yeah, do they reset the 5 seconds after they change their minds or no? Is that just skate up and drop it? Either way.
I don't think I read that paragraph.
I don't know that paragraph's in there. Anyway, Morris digging away. That goes a little bit high. Stick was lost for a moment there by McCock, but collected again. And then there's a chase on this one. Tim Carey's going to get there first. And is that Hurley? Yeah, Hurley with the hurling opportunity, trying to take out Carey. Ruski Jones can't hold on to it, but it stays in the zone. Amston sits on it, sends it low on the left side. He sends it around the boards. High bounce to True at the half boards. Reese meets him there. Brown collects it, and Brown looking to extend out. Ruski Jones hassling him, so he just chucks it to Amston. Reese getting in the way of the lane there, and that's going to force the Stampede to reset. Ross coming up the right side. That's a change. That looked deflected off Ross's blade, goes up and into the netting for a stop and play.
You can see Stampede a lot more active on the forecheck there, shutting down Brown's opportunities. Only had to flick it out there to neutral zone, and then Amston at the other end had a lot of time and space to wait for his teammates. Devils not putting a lot of pressure on him.
So how do we crack that as the Red Devils being, well, they have that challenge ahead of them for the rest of the game. It's still 4-1. They have not given up a goal yet, and don't give me this announcer's curse thing. I said that, but they're playing well. They're not scoring any opportunities at this point, and it's been mostly a defensive effort in the second period, which has been great, giving up nothing, but they're still down 3. Tappan with it. Tappan holding the puck. Tappan skating. Leaves it. Moncrief leaves it behind. Needs an air tag on that one because he forgot it completely. And they leave that in. That's not out as that hit the net cleanly, came back in. Moncrief with it again, looking for the pass. He holds on to it. Ross gets the puck. He's 2-on-2 with Freer on his left. Ross holds on to it, leaves it for Freer. Ross skating, gives Gallagher backs off of him, unexplained as to why he would do that, but the shot was taken and Carey was in a good spot for it.
Yeah, again, the netting on that far side there is sort of an imaginary perspex. So if it plays off that net end and comes into play, it's game on.
So face off with McCart and Boole, and McIntosh coming off the ice. Not sure why the late change, but they did want to make sure they only had the right number of players on. Shot in by Chalice.
Yeah, I think he was talking to the referee there, and I couldn't quite see a letter on his chest.
And again, that's kind of like a virtual letter on the chest with it. Just if it bounces off, that's how it works. Hampson with it off the blue line. Shot doesn't get all the way in. True's got it. He takes it across the crease. In the slot now with McCarg, and that's turned over. Boole passing it up to Lowe. And that's held. Kaluzny dumping it deep. And that's icing. I think that's called icing, and it's incorrectly called icing, and that's going to be a center ice face-off.
Yeah, I think that potentially saying that Hampson did come out. Hampson approached the puck.
And that happens. Everybody's got to, you know, in a blink of an eye, you got to make that call. That's what happens. Anyway, face-off at the middle. Haast with it. Haast has been off the ice for a couple of minutes here, so it'll be interesting to see what he's asked to do. He's tripped there. That's a pretty obvious one. If there's a trip to be called, that's it.
We might not need the referee to announce this penalty call.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Exactly. So 2 minutes coming up against the Stampede.
But of what we've seen in the first period here, could be threatening for the Stampede.
Yeah, you're right about the not even bothering to call it. There's no question here.
There has been talk in the past when the power play isn't going that well. Do you decline the penalty opportunity? And I think that's more of an NFL football rule where you can decline penalties. It doesn't quite exist in this sport.
No, I don't think you want to do that. But you can always just stand there if you want and play 4-on-4. Morris with it. Haast. Oh, officially it's a cross check. There you go. Haast. Here I am sitting there thinking, trip. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's 2 minutes. Morris with it. Up high. 2 on the wings here. Diamond for the Stampede. Shot goes up, and that one's going to carry off into the netting as that's deflected up. It's Morris again running it.
Good movement there for the Devils around the top of the power play unit. Morris started on our right side here and made his way across to the left and interlinking with Haast and Tappan. So
yeah, good flex on that top line. You're right. It's it's whether or not they can expand that diamond enough that they can get a cutter. Again, pardon the pun. That is what I'm trying to say, though. They've got to get somebody to slash forward there to get that chance. You can have Morris out there and Tappan just holding the puck, which is what's happening here. But eventually somebody's got to get near Brooks. Right now, Haast looking for it. Big slapper, and that was pretty much on target.
I think that's a glimpse of the goal-scoring touch from Haast. That was a rolling puck and one-timer, and he got all of it. And
He sure did.
Again, Aston Brooks, he's no slouch. He's a 4-time NZIHL top goalie of the year.
I can't give you the replay on that because we're back underway again. And that sent the length of the ice. Minute 3 to go on this penalty. Tappan with it. Luke looking and surveying. He's going to take it himself for the moment. Leaves it behind. Morris with some speed. Moncrief gets it after he asks for it. Back to Morris. Flipping a goal. Oh, that was pretty.
There we go. That was a much better breakout maneuver there. Luke Tappan starting it off, drops it back to Morris. Lovely play up to Haas because Haas was calling for it. He had the speed, and then Haas gives it back to Morris. And it was more of a re-swing at it there as he got it more fluttered over Aston Brooks there. But that's a positive power play for the Red Devils.
It really was, and I think I saw 3 different elements to that. Like you said, speed coming out of the zone, crossing the blue line, give and go, and then a quick shot against Brooks. That wrister is exactly how to beat him, especially on his blocker side like that. Ross with it, takes it and goes right back and takes the 3-goal lead back for the Stampede.
And there goes the
momentum?
The momentum, the deflation here of the crowd that was back on the home team side there, and that's the way to respond if you're the Sky City Stampede. Probably 10 seconds after that goal-scoring opportunity, and you sort of say that as probably a coach to your team. Once you score a goal, that next shift is very important that you don't then get one back up. And
yeah, and what happened with Ross? He gets open on that cut again. You can't do that. He will burn you. So, 5-2 the score. And Brown coming up, taking a shot. Good kick save there by Brooks.
I believe that's probably the hat-trick goal for Ross as well.
Wow. Not surprised at all. So, no icing called there. Tirangi Hinari digging away at that. That goes out of the zone. He chops at it. And that was McCartan's chop that keeps it back in. Bull's got it. Bull looking for an outlet. Leaves it for Brown. Brown up to Tirangi Hinari. Back to Dodwell. Brown. Tirangi Hinari.
Didn't quite get a stick on it, so icing's the call there. And talking to me, well, the clock's still going. Yep, the clock is still running. We probably lost about 5 seconds there. Maybe about 30 seconds to go in the period.
Yep, there it is. Yeah. So they've got it. I think they're going to have to hold up here because, well, no, they continued. 39.6 is what they had. So apologies if the bug's a little off. We'll give you the time as it comes in. It's not, I'm just trying to equalize it. Amston with it to Chalice. Chalice gives it back to Amston. Amston surveys. He circles back. No hurry at all. It's a 3-goal lead. Why push it? And as the Stampede look to get a pass across, that's a dangerous one. Looking for Chalice through the, and that was off the side netting. There was arms up, but that was not a goal. Knocked away again. Another save, and there's the buzzer for the second. Any chance we have that one on replay?
We've got a penalty being called here at the end of the period.
Oh, it was a cross-check.
A cross-checking penalty. I haven't quite got the team here. We'll just see what Ryan Kearns is signaling to the score bench. Stampede player.
There it is.
So they'll put the Red Devils on the power play to start the third period here, and they're in a 3-goal hold. So what better way to start? You've just scored a goal on your power play.
You've just given up a goal right after your power play, of course. I don't mean that to be negative, but that was a very big momentum switch. And then snap, it's right, it's gone that quickly. But like you said, if you're going to start, at least start a man up after the second intermission here. So let me just see. I'm curious if I've got that last play there. That was a good stop by Carey. Nope.
Maybe it was in front of the net there, the penalty of the cross-check. It was a Stampede player tied up with Hopkins there. But look, it's been called. It's on the scoreboard here, and it says 2 minutes. So.
Yep. I was hoping to add that one, but it looks like it was kind of in that corner angle that we couldn't see. So anyway, Dan, thoughts kind of from a more holistic perspective. We've seen 2 different periods, very different in the way they've been played. 4 special teams goals in the first, then you turn right around and have a very tight game played in the second. That may have had something to do with the long switches and the fact that the Stampede are being a little bit more careful, but at the same time, does anything from the second period tell you keep doing that because that'll get you back, or do they need to change and they need to make an adjustment in order to start pushing the offense?
Yeah, well, I think the Stampede shifted slightly to a bit more of a we've got a 3-goal lead here game set. So they slowed it down a bit. They played a bit more conservative hockey and let the Red Devils come to them. But again, there wasn't a lot happening in the second period because, again, Red Devils didn't quite create the chances. We probably saw on the power play that speed actually worked there on that zone entry, a quick give and go, and then get the threat onto Brooks, but it just needs to see, can they do that in a 5-on-5 scenario, get good puck movement and create quick chances.
Well, I'd like to see, so you were talking about Haas being a playmaker. Maybe that's where his positioning needs to be more, instead of the going down the wing as much as he has and drawing two players. Maybe he's got to be the guy in the middle of the ice doing the give and goes, or wherever he ends up being, in order to draw people and then quickly get him away, because that seemed to work really well.
Yeah, I think he just needs to try and give him be a threat as well as a scoring threat. I mean, again, Morrison is so far this weekend is 4 goals, and Haas has been involved with quite a few of them, so he can set up Morris as well, and we see Morris's quick shot has been beating Brooks quite a few times here, so yeah, but I think to make him more of a threat and balance that line out a bit, if he was a bit more threatening, we saw a nice one-timer from him. So
yes,
he's got a shot.
That really was a good one-timer. We'll leave it there in just a minute. We'll go to break for about 10 minutes and bring you back for third period action here in Christchurch at the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. We'll see you soon.
Red Devils Hockey is brought to you by Sounders, Robinson & Brown. Sounders, Robinson & Brown is a Canterbury law firm offering legal advice in commercial law, property, trusts and estates, dispute resolution, family and relationship property. Talk to the team at SRB for legal solutions tailored for your success. srblaw.co.nz. Red Devils Hockey is brought to you by Bushnell Builders Limited. Trust Bushnell Builders for over 40 years of excellence in commercial and residential construction across Christchurch and Canterbury. Quality, experience, and dedication in every project. Bushnell.co.nz.
Welcome back, everybody. Third period action coming up here from the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name is Matt Chavez. I'm here with Dan Nichols. And Dan, we were talking a little bit off air about this third period and what you're expecting to see. And I think we had kind of a good discussion about just what the offense needs to look like. Maybe you can drag me through that again.
Yeah, I think, look, the Red Devils here, like, they got 2 minutes in front of them here on the power play, right? So, like, they really need to focus on that first. Get another scoring chance. Like, they had a lovely breakout chance there. They'd probably struggled throughout the game so far on their power play breakouts, but they got one nailed in, and it led to a goal on the last power play. So I think they need to get through this. But in terms of general 5-on-5 plays, Stampede have got a 3-goal lead. They're sitting on that. They need to be probably bringing a bit more pace to the attack to really start challenging the Stampede.
Yeah, third period action to start here. Morris on the face-off dot. And we're about to get underway on the power play for the Red Devils. Morris loses that one. Stampede throw it the length of the ice behind Tim Carey. And the Red Devils look to get set up with Morris on this breakout attempt up to Haast. It's exactly what we're doing here. Speed, speed, speed. He comes up the right side. He still has it, looking for somebody to outlet to. Skating in a big circle. Is he going to take the shot? He is. Close. It hit the outside. Something hit the outside of the net. And Brooks jumps on it late. Hold on that whistle because Reese was right next to him, but they do stop it.
There was a bit of speed there at that time, and yeah, Haast bringing it in. Had to do a full 360 around the net, but got a chance, did hit the side of the net. I think Noah Moncrief there threw it back out, and yeah, Brooks covered up the loose puck.
Morris with the face-off. He gets it for a moment. Tappan has to back off. McIntosh has it. He sends it the length of the ice. But like we were talking about, speed through the middle is going to be key to opportunities here, and Haast being patient. Tappan going up the right side. Looking around, gets to the left point. Doesn't go back to Haast at the point. He turns it around. And now he goes to Haast, holding that out high. Stampede playing a wide box here. Everybody looking for it, but it's going to be Tappan that gets the challenge of shooting it from a tough angle, and that's where things kind of break down as a good option, as the Stampede are in a good zone defense for that 5-on-4.
Yeah, they had pretty much the options covered there.
Brown giving it back. 40 seconds to go on this power play. Haast bringing it in quickly. Moncrief with a low shot pass off that board, looking for a rebound, and it's going to be Brown that has to go back and collect it again. Stampede making some changes. Ruski Jones on the forecheck. He's trying to get in some lanes, trying to interrupt Brown, but instead he takes it up to the blue line, gives it to Bull. He backhands it, and that comes out of the zone. Meisternock has to let it go. Moncrief, pass to Brown. Dodwell has it in the zone. He's pinned against the half boards. Byrne has him in a kind of a good spot there to get rid of it, and it does come out. And that is the end of the power play. Thomas Moncrief holding the puck. He's going to go in the zone, take it up the left side himself again, trying to skate in quickly. That's clearly the message sent to the Red Devils in the locker room after 2. Ruski Jones can't hold on to it, and that's Bull with the puck as he sends that half ice. Moncrief trying to pass it. Turned it around to Bull. Bull's sidesteps Clark, takes the shot, tries to go 5-hole. That's covered up by Brooks. Good option there. Dodwell can't hold on to it. Now he's chasing backwards. Callum Burns has it, looking for the outlet. No pressure on him. Bull not stepping up yet.
In time's the friend of Stampede right now.
And that goes up to Clark. Clark gets knocked off with a good shoulder check by Mason Reese. That goes up to Haas. Haas is going to have to chase it down. He's going to take the zone, walks it in himself, takes the shot, low kick save, and out of play. Haas pulling the trigger on 2 of them. I think they've told him to start shooting too.
Yeah, he's bringing a bit more of that attacking mindset to this period so far.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that he's been, like you said before, it's his job to kind of pull everybody away, but now he's going to pull the trigger every once in a while, and it's going to change the offensive balance, and that's a big change in chemistry for the team, and so far so good.
He's played on the Estonian national team. No icing call there as the puck went all the way around and down.
And True deflected it, no icing here either. And is that going to stay in the zone? It does. Reese holds it in, sent out to Morris. Morris can't hold it as it hopped the stick. That goes out of the zone into neutral. Stampede pick it up, go in the zone. It's Ross. Of course it is. That goes back to McIntosh. McIntosh walks it in, shot and a score. Colin McIntosh just waiting and deciding how to turn Kaluzny into a pretzel. It goes right by him and takes the shot over Carey's shoulder.
Yeah, McIntosh gets the puck there and he has space to walk in. Kaluzny's caught in a really tough spot there because you go step forward and try and shut down the space. McIntosh has the hands and skills to move around you, and he stood still there and probably ended up putting a bit of screen in play as well.
Yep, there it is. So we get back underway. 6-2 the score in favor of the Stampede, and that is exactly what they were being patient about. 3 good opportunities for the Red Devils result in no goals. And there's another shot in on Carey, and he's got it in his gear. He's not sure where, but he has stopped it, and I think he found it. In nether regions, out comes a vulcanized rubber disc.
Yep, and so that's period's going so far as Coach Cam Frere will be wanting for the Sky City Stampede.
And that's flicked back out to center. Burns with it. Burns getting double teamed. Dodwell comes out. Sofer gives it over to Ruski Jones. Passes it forward. That shot off the glass. Comes back, and Brown taking it through traffic. He's knocked down. He leaves it for Dodwell. Dodwell comes in onside. Dodwell digging around. Looking for an outlet there. Gets to Poole in front, in the slot, but that's turned around, and Brown's turned around. Ruski Jones taking on Kaluzny, and that one's off the post. Another great chance for the Red Devils. Brown out. Brown through center, taking the zone and leaving it. Fans on the shot there. He's trying to wrist her, and he just kind of went over it. And Gallagher back on defense. Stampede set up. Amston throwing it behind the net to McCarg. He's got it. Harassed behind the net, but still has the puck. Skates to the half board, goes out to Moncrief. He's got it. And as that was sent forward, it's knocked down. Hand pass, I think, is the call.
Correct.
And it probably didn't even need to happen. It would have been icing otherwise, but you can't really react. You just
grab it. You don't know what's behind you sometimes, so if you can get a glove on it, you take it, and you hope doesn't sting you too bad on the inside.
And that puck, nobody was ready for the Stampede, and Tappan takes that one with no problem. It was McCarg looking to get in the face-off dot and did so a little bit too late. So that rule is still catching everybody off guard.
It was a pretty quick 5 seconds from the linesman's whistle to when that went down.
Meisternock with it.
Maybe daylight savings has an effect on 5 seconds.
Moncrief back to Chalice. Dan, they said you weren't funny. I think they're lying.
Just making a factual comment there.
Thomas Moncrief trying to drag it in against 2 players there. He can't do it. Tap in, knocking it back to Moncrief, that being the Noah version. And they're kind of plowed into the board. Devlin just doing what he wants to, smashing and cross-checking away. No call yet. We play on. The physicality definitely there for Devlin, and he's been a game changer today for the Stampede. Gallagher with the puck as that gets turned around for the Red Devils. Flipping it back, Clark takes the puck, gloves it down. And the Stampede look to set up. Long pass up to McIntosh. He tries to chop that one down with a kind of a snazzy little two-handed move he's got there, but doesn't work for him. But he turns it over for himself right behind the net. And that's taken away by Haas. He's one-on-one. Chance here, pulls it through the legs, but very good defense for Burns. A great pass to Morris. Morris trying to do something with it. And Brooks up to it. That pass goes only as far as Brown and not out. Brown has it, passes it. That goes into the slot, but that's turned around to Freer, and he's going to have a one-on-two here. I think that's Ross again. He takes the shot, goes over the crossbar, hits the glass, comes out. McIntosh has it. Harassed by Brown, McIntosh holds on to it. His patented one-handed stick moving. And it's Brown stealing it away. He takes the low shot. Brooks kicks it away, but in front. McIntosh has it, skates behind the net, and the Red Devils look for a change here as they are gassed. Does that go for icing? It does. So that's going to allow the Red Devils to change, which is advantageous.
Indeed it is, although McIntosh does look quite calm and collected when he does get the puck there, even with Brown putting a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, McIntosh can hold off pretty much anybody with one hand and keep that puck with the other on the stick. It's pretty amazing to see it. Tapping with it now. He steals it away from Ross. Meisternick. Pass forward to Boole. Off the boards, past Dodwell. And Meisternick the first one back to make that icing.
And Tim Carey there doing his impersonation of Aston Brooks, holding the post there, letting the puck go through the goal crease for the icing call.
Yeah, they could. These two could have a pose off. Actually, if you look at them, they're just like mirror images of each other. Calm, cool, and chilled out. In front, Chance, and Boole can't pull the trigger as his stick was lifted. Amson's got it now. They pass it out up to Ross. He's going to gain the blue line. He gets plastered by a linesman and a player there. Not sure. Do you know who's wearing 45 right now?
Underwood is.
Underwood. There you go. So. Shot, low shot, and that's up, stays in play. Brown with it, hits the referee. That gets turned to Sofer to McIntosh. He waits, and then backhands it. And then that one's gonna be a clearance to just take some pressure off with an icing called.
Yeah. Some Red Devils players, they've probably been out their last sort of 2 shifts there because they stayed on when the Stampede iced their puck. So yeah, not the freshest out there. I think Underwood, that could be his first shift of the game. I think Coach is starting to roll through a few of the extra players now.
Risky Jones winning that one. Sofer with a low shot that's outside the pipes, knocked away by Carey on the glove, turned around by Brown. That's to Dodwell, then up to Boole. Boole passes ahead. That goes past Low as it hits his blade.
Interference call.
There it is.
Stampede player Campbell just taking Hayden Boole out, enabling him to turn away and get back into the action. So Red Devils going on the power play here, and probably quite good. They can bring out their top line now with some fresh legs.
36.
There's the interference call. So the Red Devils on the power play. They drop the puck. Reese goes out to tap in at the blue line, leaves it behind for Morris. Morris skates around. That high 1-2-1 for the Stampede, their trademark on this. Expanding the zone, pressing the boards, and giving the Red Devils all sorts of trouble here. Morris is going to walk it forward, takes his time with it, looking for tap-in. No, he holds it, shot, and that goes off Brooks' chest. Stays in there, and then it's Haas giving up a one-on-one chance here. Tappan's going to go back, and the Stampede hold the phone and wait. Get a couple of one change there. McIntosh on for Chalice. Tappin bringing it forward to Haas. Haas with some speed. Haas couldn't pull the trigger again. Stick held up. Tappan holds it in the zone. Tappan turns it. Morris with it. Morris gets it knocked off his stick. Half boards, holds it, leaves it for Tappan. Tappan with a low shot off of who else? Colin McIntosh's shin. He's got a breakaway. Shot that hits the crossbar. It's up and behind and hits the nettings, out of play.
Good chase there by Morris to just keep the pressure on McIntosh there. Been a minute into the power play shift for Morris there, and so kept enough pressure on there for McIntosh to probably not get the best chance that he probably would have liked to break away from the far blue line.
Yeah, too much traffic, but nothing else going on there, so he's got to he's got to avoid the shins. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. McIntosh holding everybody off there. In front for Carey, and some dangerous times, but the power play continues for the Red Devils. Bounced in front, and the team from Queenstown throws it out.
That one hit high up in the netting. I think deflection off as it was on the way out. But
yeah, it would have to be, because that looked almost direct. I mean,
I think it was directly off a deflection. So,
okay, there you go. Funny guy, you.
No call on the delay again.
Bull is, well, no, somebody was warned there for not being ready.
Visit the Bailey Quarter.
And sent the length of the ice after the Stampede win that face-off. Meisternock with it. Ross on the forecheck to Brown. Brown looking to escalate. Bull takes it across the blue line on the right side, skates quickly, looks to turn it back around. He does exactly that. Meisternock with a nice high shot. Glove save by Brooks.
Good entry there for probably the second line power play unit for the Red Devils. Getting in, Haydenbull takes it deep, sucks the Stampede players back
into
down
the
low,
goal line, yeah.
Pops it back up to Meisternock, who has a good shot on him.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a set play or not, but it's pretty clear that the philosophy, getting them deeper, is actually, that's taking hold here. Low shot, deflected, and that goes up and out of play.
Yeah, as you're entering on a power play, you do want to get the puck deep to draw the Stampede back. If you pull up too high up on the half boards, then the defensive team can apply pressure to you there, and there's more chance for those turnovers.
Yeah, and just sitting on that blue line waiting for the pass to come back out, that's a sniper's paradise, if you will, just waiting for that long shot and maybe a deflection. But in the meantime, Sofer comes back out, like you said, 5-on-5, penalty's over. And Reese and Brown try to dig it away from Sofer, but Sofer still has it. He falls, oh, that's going to be a 2-minute call. Somebody's...
Yeah. The stick was around Sofer, but I think the stick got clear and he might have hit a toe pick there and went down, but it sells the call enough that the referee puts the arm up, and Stampede now going on a two-minute call.
There you go, 2-minute minor for tripping. So, yeah, as they direct Brown to the box, I think he's still wondering whether or not that was him or not. But
yeah, he wouldn't have felt it on his stick. So.
Yeah. So obviously no intent there, but nonetheless, 2 on the board for the Stampede.
Especially sometimes if it looks like a penalty, it gets called.
Chalice with it.
Number 8, Sean Brown.
Freer kind of skating on his own there, his stick getting lifted a little bit. And that stays in play, but goes back to neutral. Amston has to reset. Interesting, the Red Devils choosing kind of a more 1-3 on this just to make sure the blue line stays clean. Amston skates it into McIntosh, and they ring it around. Ross with it. McIntosh nice and clean out on that right side. If they can, he's kind of sneaking in there looking for that same pass he had yesterday, just pass it off his stick.
The Red Devils look like they're happy to keep it to one side.
They sure are, and they should be if they can do that. And that's passed out to McIntosh. He's going to take a wrister, and good save by Carey there.
Yeah, lucky Freer in front providing the screen, so Tim Carey catches that with the glove. And again, those loose scrambling pucks, especially on the PK, you really need to focus on getting 100% in behind it on the stick to just clear that out of the way. The soft clears just again, Stampede kept the puck and gave McIntosh another dangerous shot.
Yeah, and that's going to, I mean, the lactic acid buildup of playing defense that long is just going to, it adds up, right? And there's Morris coming down 1-on-2. He's going to take a chance here. Takes a quick shot, glove save, and they'll get a face-off on the other side with 45 seconds to go on this call.
Again, he's been the top goal scorer here for the Red Devils, and he's beaten Brooks a few times with his quick shot. So, yeah.
Without Morris, where would we be right now? So, yeah, I mean, it's funny. We've been calling his name. We've been talking about him, but he's just been a force on the ice for the Red Devils. And in a way, it's almost lost because he's doing it so well and so cleanly.
Stick down for the Morris now, so three PKs with a stick, one without.
And that goes behind to Hurley. He skates around the missing stick. Reese skating high and gets that tip. They have to come back out. 7 seconds to go on the power play. And that will get Sean Brown back out right about now. And he skates out as Devlin goes through the middle. Devlin just held up. Good play by Meisternock. Hurley sending it around to Devlin. Up to the point, low shot, that's deflected, goes behind, hits that stick on the ice, funny bounce. Moncrief with it for a moment. And that's passed up to Reese. Kaluzny with a good long ice pass, but that's turned back to Stampede. Oh, good theft there and a shot held by Brooks.
I was going to say, Stampede not really needing to force the pace of the game here with a 4-goal lead, but that was a little bit risky turnover, a little bit probably too relaxed there by Rusky Jones there, and two Red Devils managed to pick it, but yeah, tight angle shot, and Brooks was solid.
And it was the brothers, Thomas to Noah in that case, Moncrief. There's a quick chance by Hopkins, still waiting for George to score. I think he's, boy, wouldn't he love to just get one in.
Yeah, I think the broadcast might go offline if he scores.
Yeah, that would be a change. McIntosh with it. And that just bumps up and out of play. Dan, how long has it been now?
George is at least 110 games in the league with no goals scored. And if you look at the stats on the lowest points per game average of players that have at least played a season or two, yeah, certain names at the bottom of that.
You know, sometimes you have to be number one in something. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair to George, in all cases, he's contributed a lot to hockey here, but he's also a very good player. He's just not a scorer. Yeah. So it would be lovely if he gets one this year. I'll be the first one to jump up and down for him if that happens.
You've probably got a pre-written speech for that.
Not to mention, RIP is bar tab. Anyway, back up to neutral for the Stampede. That's knocked away by Tappan, but they get it back. Pass forward to McCarg. He comes in off the right side, looking, gonna take it himself. That's pumped away twice at Carey's legs. When he's in the right spot, but that's turned over behind the net. 3 Red Devils passing it around, but the pass that time went behind the cage to a lurking, I think it was McCarg that was behind there. So Haas takes it in, he's onside, looking to do something with it, leaves it behind, but Tappan can't pull the trigger on that one as he's a righty, and that would have been a lefty shot. And we're gonna come back with Chalice chucking it in. Meister knocked forward. Haas with it. Haas getting it through to Bull. Bull stretching, takes the shot, but mostly a pass, really. Trying to get it to Lowe. Sofer with it now. Amston comes in, and that is offside.
Yeah, just the pass to the skates there, and Sofer and leaves it behind. But yeah, you can see there a little bit. Jordan Chalice again, a lot of experience behind him, just deciding to dump it in. Just 4 minutes to go in the game here, 4-goal lead. They don't need to exert too much energy.
No, this is to be a relaxing trip home at this rate. And unless the Red Devils do some really surprisingly offensive changes quickly, they'll be leaving with another 6 points, as they normally do from this building, unfortunately.
Yeah. Although you could say it's been a bit more competitive this season than probably the last prior season. So
very true.
It's not all negatives.
Nope, not all negative at all. It's you're taking a look at the Red Devils playing with the champions of last year and going toe-to-toe with them mostly. They just need to tighten up that offense.
Well, special teams in the first period, which was the
And the
real
special-
killer.
Yes, it was. On the upside, they'll have plenty of tape to look at as that goes to Morris. Morris looking for a shot, had his head up, and Amston steals that away from him. Sent in as a shot, but knocked away easily by Carey. Left behind, Kaluzny's got it. He's just going to wait this one out. And the Red Devils looking to get something going here. Gallagher with it, takes the shot, and that hits Brooks in the chest and kind of bounces off. Didn't handle that cleanly. Probably the best chance so far for a good 10 minutes. Underwood passing it across, but that gets stolen. McIntosh trying to dig that out. Carries up and ready for it now. 3 or 4 shots in on him, and he just stood up like a wall for a moment there.
We'll be hoping the stats person was counting all 3 of those to help us
I hope so.
save percentage today.
Reese leaving it behind. Now Reese coming in, looking for Morris. Still trying to build some chemistry there. Morris with it, taking the backhand shot from behind, trying to bank it in. And Morris getting double teamed out to Brown. Brown walks it forward into the half boards. And that is a heavy shot by, I think it was Campbell. Blake Campbell just kind of putting all that weight into him. Morris turning, and he is gonna get, hook on Ross.
Yeah, indeed. As he was spinning around, the stick got up there into the arms and the player went down. So what do we got? 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the period. So the Red Devils will, power play chance here. It's a 4-goal deficit, so they'll need to get one quickly if they want any hope to try and claw it back to at least push us into overtime.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like your optimism, but at the very least, they need to get something set up and just get something out of this game, even if they don't get the win. And that's in front. That's a good chance. Morris with it. Morris cross ice. Big slap shot. Haas with that one not getting through to the net. That's back out to Morris to Tappan. And Tappan with a shot. That's off Brooks. The rebound not on target as Reese was kind of handcuffed there. Now he gets it back. Back to Tappan. And they're just daring Tappan to shoot, really.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he's looking for the crossbar, then the back of the net.
And Morris has it to Tappan. He passes it back to Morris. Morris gets doubled and deflected as his pass goes off Devlin's skate. And Tappan's got to go back. Minute 2 to go on the penalty. Minute 5 to go in the afternoon's proceedings. Up to Reese. He's going to go through the left side looking for somebody to turn that over to Tappan. Back to, well, that was deflected away, and Amston's going to throw it the length of the ice.
Yeah, look, tired legs here. I think this power play 1 unit's just trying to make the most of the end of this game and just a little bit of practice.
And you've got the Moncrief brothers out there as well at this point. That was a glove on a puck for a moment. Moncrief taking a shot. Thomas trying to get that on target, but it just gets deflected. Low shot. That's a stinger as Brown sends it by Brooks. That stays in the zone. Up to Moncrief. Moncrief getting plastered into the board. He's pushing back. Up to Brown. Brown gets it deflected. Sent back to him. Pens it across the ice to Haas, to Morris. Morris with a backhand at Brooks, and he just holds on to it.
3 seconds to go in the game here. Power play's over. We'll have probably one last face-off to end this afternoon.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, so let's watch for this. And there we go. Drop it, and everybody's done. There's the horn, and that ends the game with the Red Devils going down 6-2 today to the defending champions, Sky City Stampede. The Red Devils finding their chemistry, finding their imports and how they're going to use them. They have a pretty clear leader in Morris. And they've got a lot of games in front of them. Now, so I should mention this. I know I'm not going to have the updated standings yet, but it's going to put, if I've got this right, the Thunder are in trouble right now. And Queenstown will have picked up their third win, which may make them equal depending on how that game's going. So if you're still with us and you're still listening, I don't know what you're doing. You should go check out that other stream. We're going to get out of here pretty soon, but it is very clear that the Red Devils know what's in front of them. And with 4 playoff spots this year, they have every chance to jump in front of somebody because they have the talent on the ice. It's just a matter of getting that offense clicking.
Yes, and next weekend they're heading up to Auckland to take on the West Auckland Admirals, who in their first round last weekend had 2 losses at the hands of Phoenix Thunder. So it will be the sort of a, I know we're very early in the season here, but the bottom of the table battle next weekend with all the other teams having a bye. And then, of course, we have a break for a couple of weeks as we go into the international duties with the IIHF tournaments taking place down in Dunedin between the 27th of April and 3rd of May.
Yeah, so for anybody who's been watching and was wondering why we're playing in April, that's why. They wanted to make sure that the New Zealand players had a chance to get out on the ice before World Champs and get the league started so that they have every advantage that they can get going into that tournament coming up here soon.
And I might just wrap it off with one final fact that we didn't manage to sneak into the broadcast this weekend, but the Sky City Stampede lineup have 9 Ice Blacks that are preparing for the World Champs, subject to injuries or any last-minute adjustments. Red Devils have none.
Well, there you go. That is quite the statistic, and hopefully that means the tournament turns out well for New Zealand. That's the important part, right? So I'll be with the team next week. We'll be calling the game up in Auckland with the West Auckland team, and we will be seeing you in 1 week on the broadcast. The Red Devils going down 6-2 this afternoon against the Sky City Stampede. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you soon.